Day 5 and we are back at Sultan Ahmed Mosque. We are going to be praying inside and I'm finally going to be able to see the inside of it because I'm back to being in a pure state. I don't really need to speak much on that. The mosque was built between 1609 and 1617 and it took 7.5 years to construct under the order of Sultan Ahmed, who ascended to the throne at the age of 14 and he commissioned for the mosque to be built at the age of 19. He reigned the land of the Ottomans, including 3 continents, for 14 years. He passed away when he was 28, but when it was built, not only was the function to be just used as a mosque, it was a complex of different buildings which included a hospital, a madrasa, soup kitchen, a primary school, a bazaar, and the list goes on. The locals here actually refer to this as the Sultan Ahmed Mosque, and it's only the Westerners who came here as tourists that gave it the name the Blue Mosque because of the blue tiles that were imported from the Iznik region, which is another city located in Turkey, and also because of the light blue domes. The dome is usually considered a representation of the heavens. We actually haven't had breakfast, by the way, so after we've prayed we're gonna go grab some brunch. We're trying a new spot today which is a few minutes away from the mosque, and I think we're just gonna stick to the classic Turkish breakfast but order some extra eggs this time and maybe just get one breakfast. Yeah, we're gonna stick to the classic breakfast.
Before entering the Blue Mosque, we removed our shoes, which is customary practice when visiting any mosque. The first thing that struck us was the beautiful symmetry of its domes and minarets, which is a signature of Ottoman architecture. Entry to the Blue Mosque is completely free, so anybody regardless of faith is welcome to enter. Inside you'll find more than 20,000 Iznik tiles lining the walls, which dominate the interior. They kind of reminded me of the Moorish patterns we saw at the Alhambra in Granada. However, the Iznik designs have their own distinct character as they blend floral and geometric motifs, which is uniquely Ottoman style. Each tile is an intricate work of art. The spacious prayer hall had small semi-domes surrounding the central dome, creating a sense of depth and grandeur that almost feels infinite. During the golden hours, light streams through over 200 stained glass windows, adding a magical glow to the already serene space. Giant round chandeliers hang low, their warm glow illuminating the prayer hall, and tall marble columns stand as timeless guardians of this sacred space. Decorations also include giant tablets inscribed with verses from the Quran, and even the carpets with their rich patterns feel like part of the artistry. Once inside, Omar and I had to part ways as men and women have separate areas within the mosque. One of the standout features of the mosque is the minbar, which is a pulpit or a raised platform found in a mosque specifically used by the imam to deliver sermons during Friday prayers and other religious services. After taking in the breathtaking interior, we stepped outside to the vast courtyard surrounding the mosque, and this tranquil space just provided a perfect vantage point to admire the domes and minarets as well as the overall grandeur of this historic monument. Some tips for visiting the Blue Mosque: always remove your shoes before entering. Plastic bags are provided if you wish to carry them though. In terms of clothing, wear something that covers your shoulders and knees. Try and dress quite modestly, and bring a headscarf too if you're a woman to cover your head. You should also respect the sacred space by keeping noise to a minimum and avoid flash photography and refrain from taking photos of people praying. Do not touch or lean against the intricate tile work, and plan your visit outside of prayer times if you're not planning to go there to pray, as the mosque is closed to tourists during these periods anyway. The Blue Mosque is more than a place of worship, it's a masterpiece of design and a window to Istanbul's rich cultural heritage. So whether you're drawn to its architecture or simply enjoy people watching, it's an experience you won't forget.
This guy's been here for a long time, the guy's serving us as well.
I feel like we made a mistake not having breakfast. Instead of going to the original breakfast place that we had planned, we ended up going straight for lunch. We got the traditional spread of like kebabs, kofta, rice, bean salad, 2 lentil soups with bread and drinks. And when I got in there, I didn't even want to film. I was so hungry, I just silently ate and I didn't talk. I didn't even look at Omar. I don't think I even breathed. We ended up going back to the hotel getting changed. Because it is a Sunday, not many things are open right now. Like everything closes quite early. So we decided to do the Bosphorus Cruise that we had planned for our anniversary night today. He postponed it with us and he was okay with it. The person that's going to be leading our tour is going to be holding a yellow sign that says Grand Boat Line. Hopefully we find him because he's running a little bit late himself. The weather isn't looking too promising though, guys. Like the sky is literally grey, I can barely see. I feel really burnt out, to be honest with you. I feel quite tired. I didn't want to leave the hotel today, but here we are. I'm hoping that this 2-hour cruise does not make me sick.
We started our journey outside the Hagia Sophia, waiting for our guide near the newspaper kiosk. It was pretty easy to spot. You couldn't miss him with his bright yellow umbrella.
I should be coming now. Guy with a yellow umbrella.
But I was worried for a sec because he was running late and it had already been about 15 minutes past the time we were meant to meet and he wasn't there. The tour group was massive with around 100 people, which is actually quite typical for a popular experience like this. From there, it was a quick 10-minute walk to the pier where our tickets were checked upon arrival. Our cruise was with the Grand Boat Line, which is one of the top-rated Bosphorus tours on TripAdvisor, although on Google reviews it doesn't really have a great rating. Once on board, I was determined to get the best view, so I grabbed a seat along the perimeter. They also had rows of seats in the center of the boat, but I had a little plan of roping Omar into taking photos of me before I could fully relax. Priorities. He sat opposite me while he snapped pictures of me and the iconic landmarks against the shimmering Bosphorus.
Just lean your fat head on my head.
Once I got my pics, I felt like I could actually relax and take everything in without feeling overstimulated.
So we were a bit concerned. Oh yeah, we can see the Hagia Sophia. Oh, so we were a bit concerned at first. There were hundreds of people lining up. The first boat took off without us, but thankfully they had a second boat and we're on the second boat right now. It's quite nice. It is a little bit rocky, but they have a little off-license store on the boat itself so you can get some Pringles, some snacks. We did pick the 6:50 booking, so thankfully, since it is 2 hours, I think we might be able to see the sunset. You know what the first stop might be? Not too sure, but I do know that it is going to be touring the Bosphorus Strait, which is what we're on right now, and then eventually the Golden Horn. It's quite relaxing actually. I think I can do this. I was a bit scared because I've got a fear of deep water. I think we'll be fine.
The Bosphorus Cruise, low-key iconic. They had an audio guide in every language, so we were really hyped up thinking we're about to get a whole history lesson now. But nope, the guide sounded like someone recorded it underwater. We gave up and just decided to let the views do the talking instead. Speaking of views, you guys, they were chef's kiss. Dolmabahce Palace was out here looking like the rich aunt of all landmarks. Ottoman Mosque just casually flexing its waterfront real estate. Rumeli Fortress was given big Game of Thrones energy, and then there was Maiden's Tower just chilling in the middle of the water like it's just too good for land. Then you add in a golden hour sunset, like the whole thing felt like it was out of a Pinterest board. Before settling in, we decided to raid the little shop on board for juice and snacks, because how am I going to be cruising without snacks? That could never be me. You can't catch me on a 2-hour cruise on an empty stomach. Once we were armed with crisps and vibes, we were ready for the next few hours of pure Bosphorus goodness. Midway though, things got interesting. A group of performers just popped out of nowhere, dressed like they just raided a Renaissance fair or something, just carrying exotic pets. And we were like, alright, cool. But then they hit us with the whole no photos, no video rule, hence why I don't actually have a clip of this. But apparently they had their own professional photographer just following them around. It was giving influencer vibes, honestly. So they went around chair to chair, just letting people hold the animals while snapping photos away. Naturally, Omar and I were all in. The parrots? Absolute drama queens. One of them gave me side eye so intense I thought it was judging my outfit. Omar held it first, looking like a pirate on his gap year. Then it was my turn. The photos slapped. They didn't charge us for taking them, but if you wanted a print it was like £8, which I don't think is actually that bad, especially if it's for a memory. Like, how else am I meant to prove to people that parrots actually like us? Anyways, as we got near the Galata Tower, it hit us with a dramatic U-turn. I mean, she really said, and that's the tea, we're heading back now. The sunset over Istanbul was given cinematic masterpiece though. Like, cruising the Bosphorus was hands down the best way to spend a Sunday, especially considering most places close early on a Sunday. It felt like we just unlocked a life hack and that the day was not going to waste. By the time we docked, we were starving. It was giving like feed me now or face the consequences levels of hungry. So we grabbed some food, but I'm not going to show it because this was filmed over a year ago and that place is now on the boycott list. Yes, I know, I don't post in real time, sue me. And of course we had to end the day with some chewy Turkish ice cream. The vendor pulled out the classic tricks of pretending to give us the cone and then snatching it back, but jokes on them because we're just that chill couple. We laughed it off and got our ice cream and called it a day. A 10 out of 10 experience, would recommend. That's it for today's vlog. We explored the the beautiful Blue Mosque, took the views in on the Bosphorus Cruise, and made the most of this amazing city on a Sunday. There's still so much to see and do in Istanbul, so stick around. The next video will be packed with even more adventure and a few surprises along the way. If you enjoyed this video, then don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one. See y'all later, bye!